Satellite imagery confirms a significant concentration of the PLA Navy along the Fujian coastline.
The DF-21 and DF-26 missile bases establish a comprehensive deterrence zone over Taiwan, complicating any intervention scenario.
The high-detail satellite view reveals the core of Taiwan's defensive strategy.
As tensions escalate in the Pacific, the United States positions its carrier strike group within the critical first island chain.
This deployment from Okinawa marks a critical escalation as the combined forces approach Taiwanese airspace.
Beijing's submarines are utilizing these deep Pacific escalotes.
The western beaches of Taiwan present the most viable, albeit challenging, amphibious landing zones for an invading force.
The strategic overlays highlight the critical choke points. Maintaining these supply routes through the Central Mountains is These animated routes highlight the critical flow of semiconductors. But as the overlays demonstrate, political tensions are... This cinematic breakdown illustrates the sheer scale of the incursion. As the formations near the ADIZ...
As tensions mount, the digital battlefield becomes the primary front in this new era of hybrid warfare, threatening global stability. Satellite data confirms the intersection. The red lines indicate the Chinese fleet's approach vectors, crossing the... This cinematic visualization details the strategic alliance network in the Indo-Pacific. Geopolitical brinkmanship in the Taiwan Strait. The overlapping missile engagement zones demonstrate a precarious strategic balance between the major powers. Along the Fujian coastline, the buildup of PLA amphibious forces is unmistakable. Satellite imagery...
The proximity of the Kinmen Islands to the mainland creates a significant strategic vulnerability. As the tactical... This visualization highlights the critical nature of the eastern sea lanes. Securing these humanitarian...
As the initial wave clears the mainland, the sheer scale of the rocket force's strike package becomes apparent, targeting airfields across the island. The Security Council convenes as the crisis reaches a critical juncture. All eyes are now... Taiwan's high-speed rail and critical logistics corridors are highly vulnerable to interdiction.
This orbital view shows the Bomber Task Force route from Andersen Air Force Base. This is the core of the extended deterrence strategy in the Pacific.
Taiwan's semiconductor industry is the linchpin of a global supply chain. A disruption here would send immediate shockwaves through North America, Europe, and Asia.
As we trace the steps up the escalation ladder, the involvement of U.S. strategic assets significantly raises the risk profile in the South China Sea.
The Taiwan Strait remains a critical flashpoint. As the regional powers mobilize, the delicate strategic balance. The complete encirclement of Taiwan represents a significant escalation. Beijing has established 6 exclusion zones.
The defense of the Taiwan Strait relies heavily on these coastal missile batteries. Their reach, visualized here in...
The digital battlefield of East Asia is escalating as the grid lines connect Beijing, Taipei.
The intervention scenario triggers an immediate response. We see here the sortie paths of Allied air assets.
Deep beneath the Pacific, the United States and China operate in increasingly crowded waters, raising the stakes in a dangerous geopolitical game.
This visualization tracks the movement of Taiwanese reserve units. The animated arrows indicate the primary...
Satellite imagery confirms the deployment. The Chinese airborne units, marked with the red flag, are utilizing these northern... As instability radiated from the Taiwan Strait, the vital flow of semiconductors is interrupted.
As the carrier strike group advances, the red vectors illustrate Beijing's expanding power projection capabilities. A protracted ground resistance relies heavily on these eastern mountain strongholds. The layered defenses and critical supply routes are clearly visualized here. The USS Regrut Carrier Strike Group maintains a position east of Taiwan, demonstrating extended deterrence.
The imposition of a no-sail exclusion zone around Taiwan represents a significant escalation. This unprecedented assembly in the southern Taiwan ports confirms the establishment of the humanitarian corridor.
As the anti-access bubble expands across the strait, the PLA's strategy becomes clear. The goal is to create. The strategic map highlights the precarious balance in the Taiwan Strait. With global powers locked in this tense, our analysis indicates a significant buildup in the Fujian theater. The sheer volume of these convoys suggests. To ensure air survivability against a mainland assault, Taiwan has adapted its highways for military use. The United States maintains a robust satellite presence over East Asia, crucial for monitoring regional activities. This satellite perspective reveals the sheer scale of the naval deployment. The infrared overlay shows the Chinese carrier. The Taiwan Strait is one of the world's most critical flashpoints. These grids represent the projected maritime denial zones should conflict erupt. The situation in the Taiwan Strait remains critical. Our visualization shows Taipei's coordinated emergency.
This satellite visualization shows the Liang Battle Group conducting active launches.
The Taiwan Strait remains the primary geopolitical flashpoint, as Beijing projects its influence.
The engagement geometry is clear. Long-range anti-ship missiles launched from the mainland arc towards the strait. A breakdown of Taiwan's energy infrastructure reveals significant vulnerabilities. The simulation highlights how a targeted. The escalation ladder demonstrates a clear pathway. Beginning with a limited blockade, the situation.
China's rocket force installations in the south are key to its sustained strike capability. As we zoom in, the mobility of these units becomes clear. The USS America Amphibious Ready Group enters the Philippine Sea, a clear signal to the region.
The digital map reveals a critical threshold. These are not kinetic strikes, but waves of coordinated media influence.
Both the Bashi Channel and the Miyako Strait are strategic bottlenecks. Securing these passages is vital for regional maritime control and power projection. The initial wave, designated Phase 1, approaches the northern beaches. Timing is critical for this synchronized multi-axis assault.
Taichung Port is the linchpin. Should it fall, the island's primary supply arteries are severed.
In this visualization, a saturation attack is launched from the mainland. But the integrated air defense system proves.
The Central Highway Network is key to internal maneuver warfare, allowing rapid redeployment across the mountainous spine of the island.
This satellite view shows the initial phase of the PLA's strategic airfield capture.
This visualization highlights the critical U.S. Pacific defense posture, connecting key strategic nodes from Hawaii to Japan.
The sustained naval attrition battle east of Taiwan is escalating, as Chinese fleet icons withdraw due to heavy.
Securing the strait remains Beijing's primary logistical hurdle, maintaining a constant flow of fuel and ammunition. As the visualization shows, the strategy hinges on controlling these key mountain passes.
The ongoing geopolitical tensions in the Indo-Pacific have triggered a major realignment of maritime trade. This cinematic breakdown reveals the extent of the mainland's anti-access strategy, a complex shield. Settling east of Taiwan, a multinational naval coalition demonstrates unprecedented unity. This visualization, the coastal denial strategy, relies heavily on these prefabricated obstacles. They are designed to slow any amphibious landing force. As tensions mount in the South China Sea, the international community seeks pathways for de-escalation. The proposed demilitarized buffer zone spans the 100-mile-wide Taiwan Strait, creating a critical separation boundary. Under the proposed post-conflict governance model, Chinese administrative control is established across the major urban centers, highlighted here in red.
The analysis shows a clear escalation boundary across the Indo-Pacific. The strategic icons near the red lines.
As the sun rises over the strait, the focus shifts from conflict to reconstruction. This cinematic breakdown highlights the long-term geopolitical realignment across the Indo-Pacific. The animated alliance. A stable strategic equilibrium has been reached.